Okay, great. Hi, everyone. Glad you're in. I'm glad I'm in. My name's Sara Ivanhoe, and I'm the yoga director here at USC. I almost did not make it in today. For the last 10 minutes, I've been like having to restart the a router, and I don't know if any of you have had any last minute Zoom disasters, but that's what I just experienced, and that has really been contributing to a lot of craziness. The other thing I've been hearing from a lot of my students is that people are experiencing a lot of sort of what we're calling now post pandemic anxiety. We've been locked down for a year, and now, well, you can sort of go outside, but only a little bit. If you've been vaccinated, but you still have to be careful. And there's all these like rules, and it's confusing, and it's all kind of weird and scary. And I just wanted to kind of say that I always sort of tune into what's kind of going on, the chitter chatter around me, and try to offer a practice that will speak to all those things. So that's what we're going to be working on today. Okay, let's start as we usually do in a comfortable seated position, whatever feels right to you. Cross legs, one leg on top. Can sit in a kneeling position. Just take a few moments, allow your eyes to close, and allow your breath to deepen. And we've been working on Ujjayi breathing. And for those of you who are just joining us today, Ujjayi breathing is in and out through your nose with a soft, hollow sound in the back of the throat. So instead of sounding like a sniffing sound, it's a hollow sound. And just allow your eyes to close. Take a listen to the sound of your own breath. Great. And then allow your eyes to open. Take your arms out to the sides and sweep them out to the sides and up. Deep breath in through the nose, and then palms to the heart, out through the mouth. Good. Two more times like that. In through the nose, clearing breath out through the mouth. And then last one, in through the nose, and we'll hold it. Deep breath in and in and in and in. Hold out through the mouth, palm to the heart. And then just keep one leg on top or in front. Take your hand in front of you. We'll just start with an easy forward bend, and you can just crawl your body forward as far as feels comfortable to you. Let your head drop and take a few long, smooth breaths. And then come all the way up. Whatever leg you have on top or in front, go ahead and switch legs. So you've got the other leg on top or in front. And we'll do the breath work again. Take the arms out to the sides and up. Deep breath in through your nose. Clearing breath out through the mouth. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. Last one in through the nose and hold. Out through the mouth. Open the eyes. Hands will come in front of you and begin to walk yourself forward and down with this other leg in front. And as you fold, allow your head to drop. You start to send some breath into the back of the neck in between the shoulder blades. Okay, and then slowly come on up. Excellent. Let's go ahead and move on to our hands and knees. So roll to the side. Well, actually, I'm going to go this way today just to mix it up. So on our hands and knees, you're going to, we'll start with our little cat cow. We're going to lift the chest up, sit bones up, inhale. And then round the spine, exhale. A few times like that on your own. Okay, great. And then let's get to a neutral spine. And we're going to do the that opposite arm and leg. So you'll take your right arm and left leg up off the floor. Pull the belly in. And then release. And then left arm, right leg. And release. And then let's curl the toes under and press back to a downward facing dog. Hips are going to go up and back. And we'll gently pedal the legs. And in down dog, allow your head to drop. Give your head and neck a little twisty, turny, just to allow the neck to loosen up, and maybe move your face muscles around, move your jaw around. If you like, and stick out your tongue a little bit. And then walk your feet to your hands to your feet. Take your feet hip distance. We'll bend the knees a lot. And each hand's going to grab onto an elbow, and you'll let the head hang here. So our first forward bend, nice and easy, allowing the head to drop. And just sort of swing from side to side a little bit, loosening up all of the tension in the back of the neck. Just notice your breath slowing itself down. Notice the breath deepening. All of these are just to help you release and relax. And then hands to the floor, back to downward facing dog. And we're going to go from downward dog, and then you're just going to inhale yourself to a plank pose, top of a push-up position. And then exhale right back to downward facing dog. So just back and forth a few times like that. Inhale to plank, just feel your body weight come forward, keep your belly lifting up. Exhale back to downward facing dog. Inhale to plank. Exhale to dog. Inhale to plank. Exhale to dog. One more time. Inhale to plank. Exhale to dog. And then feet to the hands, hands to the feet. So you're going to take your hands onto your shins, just below your knees. You're going to pull your heart forward. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, slide the hands down the legs, let the head drop. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale and fold. And keep going at your own pace. Great, and then relax your head. And once again, hands to the floor. We're back to downward facing dog. Bring your feet together, inner edges of your feet together, and lift your right leg up off the floor. Not very high. We're going to keep our hips level here. Flex your right foot and push back through your heel. And then release that leg down. And then pick that left leg up off the floor. Rolling the thighs in and together. And then release. And then go ahead and come down to your knees. Sit your hips back on your heels and slowly roll up. Okay, great. We've just been on the arms a lot, so we're going to do a little shoulder stretching. You'll take your right arm up over your head. Bend at the right elbow. Left hand's going to grab onto your right elbow and gently guide that right elbow back. Breathing here. Gently release that right arm down. Let's take that left elbow up. Bend at the left elbow. And then use the head to guide your body backwards. We want to just guide the sort of upper body back without poking the belly and ribs out. So you want to just a little bit of a nudge here. It's a great shoulder stretch to do if you're stuck at a desk all day long. Great. And then gently release. Let's do some shoulder rolls, just up, back, and around. And then let's roll them the other way, forward and around. Okay, and then release, and then let's slide forward onto our belly. And we're just going to do a little work to strengthen the back of the body, which is like not always so fun, but it's so good for us. So we're going to start with our belly in, tailbone down, here, lengthening the back of the spine. You want to push the feet down so the legs are kind of tightening. I'm going to lift up my head. I'm going to lift up my outer arms, and then I'm going to pick my hands up off the floor. So notice I'm not like just killing the back of my neck here, actually pulling my chin in, lengthening the back of the neck, and then lifting up higher. Okay, and then release all the way down. Great. Now let's take the arms forward in front of us here. So again, you want to always start by just kind of protecting that lower back by pulling the belly and tailbone down. I'm going to lift up my right arm and left leg. So right arm, left leg, lift them up, and I'm going to extend them out longer. And then whatever's on the floor, I push that down, which helps me lift the whole body up a little bit higher. Okay, and then release. And then let's get that on the other side. My left arm, right leg. I pick it up, I reach it out. Okay, and then release that down. Take a break, just make a little pillow with your hands. Put your forehead on your hands to lengthen the back of the neck. Okay, and then we're going to move on. Again, stretch out arms and legs. Now I'm going to reach back with my right hand and grab my right foot. Okay, so it's not opposite. Right hand grabs right foot. I'm going to push down through the floor and lift up. So I'm doing a half bow. So my right hand and right foot are shooting back into the ceiling. And then I release down and then let those go. Let's get side two. I'm going to reach around with my left hand, grab my left foot. I push the floor down and away to lift up. And then I kick that foot backwards. Couple of long breaths here. And then release. Excellent. Okay, now we're going to try belly and tailbone down. Let's do both arms, both legs. Lift everything up. Again, slightly drop the chin in so you're not craning the neck. And then release. Great. Push through the hands and come back to sitting in a kneeling position. So don't go all the way into child's pose. After we do all that back bending, that's a little much to curl forward. So I'm going to do a different shoulder stretch here. We're going to take that left arm. Let me try it so you can see a little easier. Right hand, I'm going to reach it back behind me. Grab it with the left hand. Interlace the fingers like so. Pull the hands forward and then squeeze the elbows together. Let's try like that. So I'm opening up the chest. And then I'm going to release my interlaced hands. I'm going to get this on side two. My left hand will reach all the way back behind me. I'm going to grab it with the right, interlace the fingers, pull them forward, and then elbows squeeze together. Opening. Keep that belly in to support that low back. Okay, and then let that go. Let's just do a little neck rolls this time. Let's take the head up and around to the side. Just gently. Okay, let's roll the neck the other way. Okay, great. Okay, now let's go back to downward facing dog. I think we're ready. Bring the hands forward, curl the toes under, press back to down dog. I'm going to take the right foot up to the hand, stay balanced on the back toes, and we're just going to stay here in a lunge. So drop my hips down, pull the chest forward. And with the feet, you almost want to try pulling the feet apart as you go. Back to down dog. Press the feet all the way back and down. Heels are attempting to press to the floor, thighs pull the body backwards. And now take the left foot all the way forward, balanced on my right toes, drop the hips down. So when anatomy of a lunge, you want to just make sure that this ankle is below the knee here. This is straight up and down. You don't want this kind of going like this. That's just a little bit of a knee safety tip. Let's take a last breath here. And then push yourself back to downward facing dog. Good. Give that head and neck a little shake. Take a sigh. Let's do another lunge series. Take that right foot up to your hand. You're going to keep that left hand down on the floor and take the right hand up to the ceiling. So you're taking a nice big twist here. Right hand's going to release back down. Let's go back to down dog. Now, when you do this down dog, you always do want to take the quick peek at your hands. And we've established this before. Your hands shoulder distance, fingertips basically pointing forward. And then don't let your hands bubble up. Make sure you kind of squish the whole hand into the floor. Now I'm going to take my left hip foot up to my hands. I'm going to keep my right hand down to the floor. Take my left hand to the ceiling. Just try taking your hands away from each other. Okay, and then release. And we'll go back to dog again. Great, and now let's do that hands to the feet, feet to the hands, coming into the forward bend. Great, here in dog. And now we're gonna do two different forward bends. Grab your middle and index finger, grab a hold of your big toes. And if you need to bend your knees plenty, that's okay. Lengthen the spine on the inhale, and then exhale, top of the head towards the floor. Okay, pull the heart forward, inhale, and then slide your hands underneath your feet. So you can bend your knees. This is also going to serve as a wrist stretch. This is important. You basically take the hands all the way underneath the feet with my palms facing up and my fingertips point to the heels. Bend the knees, drop the head, and allow yourself to fold. If your legs straighten a little bit, great, no big deal. But with your toes, try to keep your hands down. And then you can almost pull up and get a little traction on the wrists using the feet. I love that feeling on my wrists. Lengthen the spine, inhale, and then release back. And we'll come back to downward facing dog again. Great. And now let's go down to the knees and once again, all the way down onto the belly, all the way down onto the belly. So now we're going to do a low cobra pose. So we're going to push the feet down into the floor. Belly pulls in, tailbone squeezes down. Let's hug your elbows in. Take the shoulders back and lift up just a little and a little and a little. Yeah, if that's too much, you just lower back down. I like a medium cobra pose here. You might want to go a little higher. Just don't straighten the arms all the way. Just keep a nice curve aiming to the upper body. So you want to climb out of the low back and into that upper back. Okay, great. That is enough. Go ahead and release. And once again, press back onto back into a kneeling position. So now we're going to take another shoulder stretch. We'll take your right arm up in front of your face like an L shape. You're going to take the left arm under, in front, and around until they touch. Take the arms up and away from you. Great. So I'm pulling the arms up just a little bit. Hands away from the face. Gently drop your chin in and down. Feel the pull on the back of the neck, and now aim some clearing breath. into the back of the neck, in between the shoulder blades. Aim a breath into the base of the skull, like where the head and neck meet. Okay, and release that. I feel a lot of energy in my arms when I do that. Let's take another one. Left arm is up, right arm is under and around until they touch. Great. Arms lift up, pull them away from your face. Drop the chin slightly and aim breath into the back of the neck. Nice. Okay, whoa, I'm feeling that. Let's go onto hands and knees now and take a kneeling twist. So I'm going to take my right arm out to the side on the inhale, and then I'm going to slide my right arm all the way underneath and come onto a twist, sort of landing on my right ear. And I want to turn my head further up, try to get more of my upper back on the floor. And then release back to hands and knees. Let's take that left arm out to the side, inhale, and then slowly slide it all the way under and through. Again, you want to try to get more of your upper body up and twisted. It's not a shoulder stretch, it's a twist. Okay, and then release. Nice. So here, from here, hands and knees, I'm going to have you guys curl your toes under, and we're going to come into a malasana, nice hip stretch, because we've done a lot of upper body, and now we want to do hips. So we're going to take the feet out to the sides in 45-degree angles. Start with the body lifted up. I've got my arms here inside of my legs. I use the arms to press the knees out to the sides. So I'm feeling this on the inner groins big time. And then I'm going to keep my body lifted and see how much I feel comfortable allowing my hips to drop down into the floor, and then the heels begin to drop down to the floor. So, can you lower the heels without collapsing the whole rest of you? Try lifting up. So, any of you that have been taking the yin classes through Yoga USC, in a yin style malasana, you sort of roll your body forward like this and just let your head drop. But I love doing that. Today, I'm going to have you lift your spine up, keep it aligned. Again, we've talked about this chin in to keep the back of the neck a little bit long. When the chin is in like that, it's easier to do the ujjayi breathing. So let's try that a couple times. Okay, great. And then release the hands forward. You're going to bring the knees forward and together. And this time we're going to come all the way up on your knees. Great. So we're going to do a half ustrasana, half of a camel pose. So let's start this way. I'm going to take my left heel and curl my left heel under for a little support. Bring my belly and tailbone down for a little support here. And I'm going to reach back with my hands. Actually, I'm going to do both toes curled under. Let's do it that way. Reach back with my hands, put my hands onto my low back, lift my upper back up. So you can see I'm not dumping into my low back. My chest lifts up to the ceiling. And then from here, I'll take my left hand to my left heel and my right hand up and over and back behind me. Continue to breathe, and you can let your head drop back. You can turn your head to the side. It's whatever's going to feel right on your neck. And then come all the way up. And in between, let's just sit back on our heels. Okay, and then let's come all the way back up. Let's get side two of that. So curl both toes under, belly in, pull that tailbone down to get out of the low back. Right hand comes to the right heel, left arm up, 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 and back behind you, lifting your chest to the ceiling. Ardha Ustrasana, half camel pose. Great. Okay, and release. And then this time, as we sit back down on our heels, I'm going to have you cross the legs, sit back down on the heels, and take the legs out in front. So let's do this. We're going to do a little hold the hands under the thighs, pull the chest up for a little Navasana boat. It's nice to engage the belly after we do big back bends like that. It's what we call a counter pose. Nice way to kind of strengthen that area. If you like to straighten your legs, you can do that. Let's just hold this for a couple breaths here. Mm. Okay, great. Gonna cross the legs, and we'll come back to downward facing dog again. Let's go to that pedaling the legs. Press one heel down, press the other heel down. Let's just try for a side to side situation here. Okay, and then you can go right leg all the way up, and this time we're going to bring that left knee to the floor and uncurl the toes. I'm going to have you take your right foot to the right, bring both hands to the inside of that right foot. Let's just stay here for a few moments, letting the hips sort of sink forward and down. So we're stretching what we call the hip flexor here, this front of the left thigh, front of that left hip. If it feels okay, you can come down onto your forearms here. And then back up onto your hands. And I'm going to have you take that right foot, bring it to the center. Take that right foot a little further forward, flex the right foot, and then pull your body backward. So you're going to stretch over your straight front leg. My left thigh is like relatively perpendicular to the floor. So kind of straight up and down here. Take that right foot all the way back, and let's press back to downward facing dog. Again, paddling the legs. Left foot, take it all the way to the hands. Right knee to the floor. Just like we did on side one, take your left foot to the left a couple of steps. Both hands to the inside of that left foot. And we started up on our hands like this. So let's just stay for a few moments up on the hands and let this soak in. Okay, and then down onto the forearms, only if that feels right. Like this side feels much tighter to me. So, if it doesn't feel good to you, just go back to the higher one. Let's just check in on the timing. Okay. Up onto your hands. And then let's take that left foot to the center and that left foot further forward. And then we flex the left foot and pull the body backwards, folding forward over that left straight front leg. And let the head drop. Okay, and then left foot's going to meet the right. Let's curl the toes under, press back, downward dog. So, just for a moment in dog, really feel your hands planted into the ground and try to lift your hips up, back, and away from the hands so you get as much length there as you can. Out of the shoulders. Okay, and now let's take right foot all the way up to the hands, left knee down to the floor. Come up onto that front thigh. Let's hold it here. If you want, you can take your arms up over your head. And then from here, let's take a twist. Palms to the heart, outside of the left arm to the outside of the right thigh. Lifting up out of the bottom shoulder. And then release the hands down. We're going to move into a pigeon stretch. So you'll take your right heel towards your left hip bone, keeping that right knee out to the side. Your hips are going to stay level. And then slowly start to crawl yourself down as far as feels comfortable to you. So I'm going to come here to my forearms, and then I'm going to place my forehead down on my wrists as a little pillow. Okay, now stay in the pigeon stretch and come up onto your hands, almost like you're doing an upward dog or a cobra or something. Get some length in the chest. And then this is optional. I feel really tight today. I can tell I'm barely going to be able to do this, but I'm going to give it a try. I'm going to take my right hand to the center here, keep my chest nice and lifted. I'm going to bend my left knee, reach around, grab onto my left foot, and then just give myself a little gentle pull here. This is meant to be, gosh, I'm feeling this so big time. It's meant to be a quad stretch on that left thigh. Definitely want to be opening the quads. And then just don't twang, like don't pop it open when you release that foot. Just release it gently. And let's land back in down dog where we started, pedaling the leg. And then left foot all the way to the hands, right knee's coming down to the earth. Sink the hips down. And then we came up onto the thigh like so. Some of us took our arms all the way up over the head. and then palms to the heart into the twist. So lifting up out of the bottom shoulder so you don't sink. Twisting, just getting everything squeezed out. And then releasing the hands down, moving into that pigeon stretch. So left heel to the outside of that right hip. Get my hips nice and leveled out here. I just want to make sure you don't feel this in the knee. You should be feeling it like in this hip butt area, not in your knee at all. So just do whatever adjustments you need to make so it's hitting the right spot. Then allow your head to drop and let everything start to slow down. Try slowing down your exhales. Not harder exhales, but slower. Okay, and then go ahead and come all the way up the way we did on side one. Level the hips. First, get length. Then left hand to the inside, and right hand's going to reach around and grab onto the right foot. Remember, we did those um, half bow pose at the beginning of class to sort of warm up for this. Oof, okay, and then release. Let's get one last down dog, one last one. Mm. And then let's bring the feet to the floor, cross the legs, take the legs out in front. And then again, let's come to that Navasana boat pose. This time, let's just move a little, move and breathe a little bit just to wake that up. So you'll inhale, expand, exhale, squish up. And let's do a few times like this, inhaling and exhaling. And you can move smaller if you like it, and you can hold on to the legs if you prefer. Whatever's gonna kind of work for you here. Just getting a few of them in. Okay. Let me just check on our timing. Oh, we've got tons of time. Excellent. This is great news. You're going to take your right leg forward and bend your left knee out to the side. Let's take that left hand to the outside of the right foot this time. Pull the body long and into the twist. And then you're going to fold that whole right body over the right leg, keeping your spine nice and long. Remember how we've been talking about pulling the chin in and keeping the neck long? Don't overdo it, but just a little bit. And then as you feel comfortable, start to lower yourself over that right leg. You can just grab onto whatever feels comfortable. You can grab onto the foot, the ankle, the wrist in front of you. Great. And then come up and put the outside of that left foot to the outside of the right thigh. And then we're going to get length in the spine. Let's take that right arm up to the sky and over to the outside of the leg. Lift the chest up and we'll move into the twist here. So you want to get taller on your inhale and then twistier on the exhale. Untangle. Let's go left leg forward, right knee out to the side. And the way we did on side one, you'll take that right hand to the outside of the left foot or ankle or wherever you can. Pull yourself long and twisty first, and then lower yourself forward and down. Let your head drop. Come all the way up. Take the bottom of the right foot to the outside of that left leg. First, we lengthen and then get to the outside of that right thigh. Lift and twist. Okay, good. Go ahead and let that go. We'll bring the bottoms of the feet together, the knees open. Just take yourself up as far as feels comfortable to you. I like starting with my hands behind me to give me a little bit of a lift here. And then I use them to press down as far as feels comfortable. Notice I'm keeping length in the spine. So I'm not rounding, I'm keeping my chin in and my spine long. And I'm just going a little and a little. And then I'm going to take my arms forward, and my arms almost pull me a little bit down. So I'm feeling kind of a threshold right about here today. So I'm going to leave this here. When you start to feel sensation in your body, you don't want to pull past it. That's when injuries happen, right? So when you feel sensation in your body, oh, you say, okay, I'm listening, and I'm going to stop. I'm going to breathe. I wait for it to subside before I move on, and so forth. Close your eyes, and we'll be here a few more deep breaths. Okay, and then come on up. Okay, nice. So now release. We're going to turn to the side and take our legs out to the side. This is called, oh my gosh, I'm so tight today. Tempted to go for a little bit of a hike, and I can feel that from the hills. So now we're in what's called Upavishta Konasana, legs out to the side like so. Let's just start with a little side stretch. I'm just going to bend up and over to the side. Let this cook like so for a few breaths. Now let's go up and over to side two. And you can see I'm on the outside of the leg here. And now come to the center. We're going to go again. This time I'm going to try in the inside of the leg, so it'll get a little more intense. I'm going to bring the arm to the inside of the leg and lift up. And all the way up and over to side two, inside of the leg. And then release, come on up. And now let's just go straight down the center. Slowly crawl the body forward. I'm going to land on my elbows here. This feels like enough for today. And you want to find the threshold where you're feeling something, but it's not making you tense up. If you go too far, your body will grip and you'll actually get more stressed out. So we don't want to stress out because of our yoga, right? We want to just have all of this be in service of letting go. Come all the way up. Let's take both legs together in front of us. Last one, Paschimottanasana. Okay, nice easy forward bend. And you want to keep the spine pretty long here. So not too much rounding. Just taking a hold of whatever feels right to take a hold of. And wherever you are, just try this. Try pressing your thighs straight down into the floor. See what that does to you. For me, when I press my thighs down, my whole body sort of bounces up a little bit. I think it's just a great lengthening feeling. Using the muscles of your legs, not using your hands. Try flexing your feet a little more. So you're pulling your toes back towards your head. Pull your pinky toes back towards your head. And again, press the thighs down into the floor, lengthening the spine. Excellent. And then come on up. And then just come to a sitting cross legs position for a moment. I'm just going to do about a minute of breath work before we lie down. I'm just going to have us do a little bit of smooth, even breathing, just quiet. Just get your body quiet and still. Just try smoothing out your breath. So if you're like taking big, deep breaths like that, just try letting that go just for a moment. Try making your breath completely smooth. Almost so no one could hear it. Okay, good. And now I'm going to have you go ahead and lie down onto your back into Shavasana. Take the legs out in front of you, your feet and legs open. Arms come out to the sides, palms face up. Let your eyes close and allow your whole body to slow down and relax here. Eyes are closed. And with your eyes closed, allow the muscles in the eyes to soften. The muscles behind the eyes soften. Allow the muscles of the jaw and inside the mouth to soften. Imagine the entire inside of your body softening. Excellent. Okay. We are going to end here. If you're in a nice relaxed state, please just stay there and relax while we sign off. I can't believe this, but next week will be our final week of yoga at home for the semester. So I hope you guys will join me. If you've got special requests for our final week, please do send an email. Let me know what you'd like to see more of. And, over the summer, we won't be doing this program live, but all of these programs have been recorded and they will be on our YouTube page. So I hope you'll be able to keep your practice up. Really looking forward to next week. And thank you all so much. Go out and enjoy yourself. Good night.